Hi everybody, it's Lee here. Right, it's review time. I'm going to be reviewing this product called ThermoMorph, and this is going to be my first time using it, so it's completely straight in there like swimwear, as I like to say. I was approached by David from ThermoMorph and asked would I review this product, and I said yes, of course. Now, a little disclaimer, I wouldn't recommend a product if I didn't think it was good enough to recommend. So you're going to be seeing me use this for the first time. So I've got a few things here. It's a plastic mouldable doodah. That wasn't very informative. Mouldable plastic, and this is a 500 gram jar. It's a big jar, and this is what it looks like. So you get these wee balls of plastic, and the ingredients, or sorry, not the ingredients, the instructions say at the side there's a step-by-step guide written out for you, plus it has wee photographs or wee pictures on the side as well to show you what to do, tell you how to use the product. So we'll go through this as well, step by step. And I've got a few things here that I'm going to mould. So I've got some mould earrings, so we're going to see if I can make a mould out of that. I also have some silicone moulds, so I'm going to try these wee cherubs, so I'm going to try and take some moulds of that. And I got that on eBay, KBK silicone moulds. And then there's one here as well, that is the cameos, so I'm going to have a go at that. And also I bought this Fimo mould, and it's like a plastic sort of one, so I'm going to see if I'm able to do some wee moulds with this in here as well, see how that works. So I'm just going to go and boil the kettle ready, and you're going to watch as I use it. It's going to be completely unedited unless I come out with something completely wrong and say a bad word. Whoopsie. That's the only thing that'll be edited, so you'll be watching it as I'm using it, and you will get an honest, truthful review. If I like it, you'll know. If I don't like it, you'll also know. So I will just go boil the kettle, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back with my boiling water, so I just need to let that cool for a wee second. I'm just going to take a wee second, sorry I was eating. Just going to take a wee second to read the instructions to you. So it says, step 1, boil the kettle of water and pour into a suitable container. Exhibit A, my little Pyrex bowl. Allow to cool to around 60 degrees to avoid any scalding. So I'm just going to read these instructions while that's cooling down a wee bit. Step 2, pour ThermoMorph pellets into the hot water. So we'll do that in a wee second. Step 3, wait approximately 2 minutes until all the ThermoMorph pellets have gone clear and form into a clump. When this happens, you know your ThermoMorph is ready. Step 4, carefully remove the ThermoMorph with tongs. Those tongs. That was terrible. Got myself a pair of tongs. Oh dear. So you carefully remove the ThermoMorph with tongs. Try saying that 3 times with a bit of alcohol in your system. Wait until it cools enough to mould without scalding. Step 5, mould your ThermoMorph using your hands or tools if necessary. Step 6, allow your ThermoMorph to cool to room temperature, where it will set as a hard plastic again. If you want to speed this up, you can submerge into cold water. And apparently if you make a mistake, you can just stick this back into the boiling water and remold again. So it says very easy to use, reusable thousands of times, no tools required, super strong when set, can be moulded, carved, painted, dyed, etc. That's good. Applications are endless. So here we go. We'll go for it. Maybe I should read out the wee warning. It says, be careful when heating ThermoMorph. Heating ThermoMorph to above 60 degrees does not improve the material's properties and could lead to scalding. Additionally, please supervise any children using ThermoMorph to avoid scalding. Well, I mean, that's pretty obvious. You wouldn't let your children stick their hands into boiling water now, would you? No. Keep out of reach of small children, as ThermoMorph pellets may be a choking hazard, obviously. Do not use ThermoMorph for projects that will be exposed to high temperatures. So, because your ThermoMorph can melt. So if you make a mould, say, of this earring, I assume you can't use the likes of your melt pot or hot glue to you know, make another mould, you would have to use clay or air drying clay or whatever to do another mould, because it would melt. Right, so let's get into it, will we? So whenever you open it, there's your pellets, 500. It's a massive jar. I assume it goes a long way. So I'm just going to, I don't have a spoon, so the good old phalanges will have to do. Okay, I'll put a right bit in here because I'm doing a couple of moulds. Oops, bouncing everywhere. Probably should have used a spoon, but that would mean organisation on my part. Okay, in you go, boys. Oh, they're starting to go clear, and it looks like they're starting to clump together as well. And I'm going to put the lid back on this because, you know me, I'll knock into it and it'll go flying. I'll just show you here. See? They're starting to go clear and clump together. I'm just going to use the back of the spoon here. Oh my god, they really are clumped together. That is very cool. Can you see that? Look at that. Ooh. So it says you have to leave it for 2 minutes. Ah, get off. So I will leave this for 2 minutes and I'll come back once that's done. Okay guys, I'm back. It's been about 2 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out, and I don't think I put enough in. So while I work with this one, I'm going to put some more in. So it says to use the old tongs. And I promise I'm not going to sing again. That was just terrible. So I'll take this out. And oh, yeah, it's definitely mouldable. Oh wow, that is so cool. It feels like sort of like a gel type. That is very cool. Ooh, wow, that is awesome. Oh, I really like this. So, right, okay, I might not need more actually. Right, I'm going to have a wee go here at this cameo mould. So I've just broken some off, and I'll set that down on my non-stick mat. And we're going to go for this really detailed one here. So I'm just going to squash that into my mould. And then, you know, any bits that need trimmed off, you know, you can cut this and trim it and all that jazz. So give that a good push in there. And I'll have a go at some of these smaller ones as well. So there's a wee one there. Have a go. Actually, you know what? I don't need as much as that. So I assume I could put this, you know, as it starts to dry or harden up, I can put it back into the boiling water. So I'll maybe do that just to soften it up again, because it seems to cool down quite quickly. So I'll put some in this one. It's definitely a fantastic texture. I do like the texture now. It works quite fast. See, already that's starting to be difficult to. You see, as it starts to cool, it starts to go opaque. Whereas this is totally clear. Well, near enough. You can see the difference as it starts to cool. This is going opaque. So I'll put that back in. I'll take this one and we'll do a wee cherub. So work with this. I'm sorry about my nails, they're all broken. I'm a bit of a disaster pants. So this side seems to be softer. You have to work quick with this, it seems. I wouldn't say you'd want to work with it on a cold winter's day, you know, or if you had cold hands. So get it in there. No, you see, look, it's already cold, so I'm going to have to put that back in and let it go soft again. So I'll just come on to these. They seem to be hardening quite quickly actually. And then any you know, any over spillage that can just be trimmed or cut off or whatever. So we'll pop these out and have a look at what these look like. Yep, well, I stupidly missed a corner, but the detail's pretty, come on, focus. Detail's pretty good on them. That's the wee titchy tiny one. And I'll paint these and see what they come out like as well. And this is the big one, the really, really detailed one. Do you know what I'm actually going to do? I think I'll put in some perfect pearls into the moulds and see what that looks like. Because, you know, you can't, well, I'm sure you can see it, but it'll be better detail. So what I'll do is, let's give that a, the water's starting to cool down a bit. I'll try doing a mould. I'll take this old earring here, take a mould of it. Let's see, put that back in to the water just to keep it soft. So I'm just manipulating it here, making sure it's all mixed. Ooh, nearly dropped it. I'm just going to roll it up into a ball and press it over this earring. And see if we can make a nice mould out of it. And you can see already it's starting to go opaque as it starts to harden. Oh, that was my phone. Sorry about that. So I'll just set this to the side as it starts to harden, and I'll just take out some more and we'll try, actually no, I'll put some perfect pearls into a mould first. Take my wee brush here. Oh, I'm so weak. To turn the camera off there, I was such a weakling. It was embarrassing. Right, so probably take some of this out of the lid. So I'm just going to put some mica powder, Perfect Pearls mica powder, into the mould. Give it a good dust around and we'll see how that comes up as well. Get it into all the wee nooks and crannies. Just put the lid back on. So I'll just show you that. I put some Perfect Pearls mica powder in there, and I'm just going to take some of this out. I can probably put my hand in now, could I? Should I risk it for a biscuit? No, probably shouldn't, not in a review. Okay, and I'll see it's still, I mean, even after taking it out you can reuse it, it's fantastic. So I'll just set that there for a wee second. I think this should be enough. Nope, it's not going to be enough. Put that back in. Mould this into sort of an oval shape, and then I'm going to press it in and spread it out. So just give that a good press into your mould. Try not to stretch the mould, because then that'll cause stretching in your actual ThermoMorph. So just giving that a good press down, and I'm going to let that harden for a few seconds. So I'll just come back in and I'll see this has gone quite opaque and it's, you know, pretty cool to the touch now. So I'm going to pop out, I'm not going to let it get completely non-malleable because I want to be able to pop that. Popped out perfectly well, and that looks like a pretty good mould to me. I'll just give it a wee dust here so you can sort of see it a wee bit better. Wow, that looks pretty good actually. See all the detail? Now that wee crack there, that's my fault because I didn't roll it properly, but that is a pretty good mould. And the thing is, if it ends up not being a good mould, just stick it back into the water and remould it again. There's no issue with this at all. I mean, it's fantastic. I love the fact that you can just throw it back into the boiling water and reuse it, remould it. Brilliant. Really quite chuffed with that. So I'm going to try one of these larger. I might not have enough, do I? Might need to put a bit more. Yeah, I think I do. I need to put a bit more. So we'll try, use the tongs, Lee, use the tongs. I need to use more ThermoMorph pellets. So I'll just spill some in here. That looks like a good amount. So while it's doing its stuff, I'll just work this into some of these other moulds here. So I'll try one of these again. While it's softer. It's quite a deep mould, this one. I have to give it a good press. And this here has started to harden again. I mean, my hands aren't cold or anything, so just to let you know, and it's a good temperature in the house today because it's freezing outside. So I just dip that back into the water and we'll stick it into this wee mould. Now obviously I need to trim the excess, but that's not an issue. And we'll just see what it's like actually to trim. So I'm just using my Timmy scissors here. Yep, that trims really well. And then these wee bits you can reuse, unless they go shooting off the other side of your room. Ugh, as I said, disaster pants. Yep, that trims really, really nicely. I like this. And the fact that it dries so quickly as well means, you know, you're not waiting on, you don't have to bake the clay like you do with the other brands of clays. Or you don't have to wait for it to air dry, you know, with your air drying clay that takes about 24 hours to dry. This stuff is pretty quick. Almost immediate actually. You have to work quite fast with it. That would be the only thing, you have to work quite fast with it, but as I said, if it starts to mould, stick it back in the water and then you've no issue, you know. Ooh, I like. Well, we'll try giving it a wee paint. Should we? Yeah, why not? And we'll pop this one out to see what this looks like. Oh, that is beautiful. Obviously I need to trim the edge off, but do you see the mica powder has stuck to the surface? There's still some inside there as well, so I could reuse this. Just trim this wee bit off at the edge. I mean, it cuts really easily, there's no issue, or if I would say if you want to use an X-Acto knife or something, you could do that too. Yep, I am pretty pleased with those. They look amazing. Absolutely beautiful. The detail is impeccable. It has picked up every wee detail. It's great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some paint and paint these and see what it looks like. Okay, I'm back with the paint. Right, I did notice there that whenever I turned the camera off to get the paint, that these ones that I put in here didn't seem to be melting. So it appeared that the water had cooled down to the point where the balls weren't sort of clubbing together and going clear. So what I had to do is reboil the kettle and put some fresh boiling water in. So from the time I turned the video on to this, which was only what, 5-6 minutes or whatever, if it cools down too quickly you do have to top it up again with more boiling water. So that's just another wee tip there in case you throw it in and it doesn't work. So I've got my paint here. I'm just going to try this on this Cameo, and I'll just take the lid off. May as well just use that water. So, and I also have these wee cherubs here. They have come out well as well. The detail didn't come out as well in those. Actually, the detail didn't come out as well as those, and I think the reason was because I had the mould in my hand and it was starting to go cold. So I will remold these again and try them, and I can just stick that back into the water just like that. So I'm going to take some Tim Holtz Distress paint here, and this is the Broken China. I'm just going to paint them onto the cameo. I probably, you could probably use gesso as well, you know, just as a wee undercoat so the paint would stick properly. But I think this is going to work. Just get these wee bits out of the way. I can stick those back into the boiling water as well. I'll just bring you in a bit. And I'll just paint this one too. It seems to take the paint really well. And this is again Tim Holtz Distress paint. So just get it into all the wee nooks and crannies there. And then what I'll do is I'll probably let this dry and then go over with some rub-ons to get the detail, the detail of the cameos. So there you go. I'll just show you the detail on this one. Turn it the right way. See, picked up the detail really well. And this one, still drying obviously, but I'll let it dry and then let you see what it looks like. I wouldn't recommend using your heat tool on it simply because the heat from the heat tool would be too warm and it would melt your ThermoMorph again, and that's not what you want. So I think this looks about ready. Just clean my brush off. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, and you can see that all the wee balls have come together. Let's come into one clump. I would say, yeah, that's probably ready to mould into one of these larger moulds here. So I'll just move that. Move this out of the way and bring in the big one. Might need to. Okay, so we're going to try this. This is a very malleable sort of plastic, so we'll see if it doesn't, you know, buckle or anything whenever I'm pressing into it. Hopefully not. So I'll just grab my ThermoMorph. Make sure it's not too hot. And start to mould it in my hand. That should be good enough for the bottom one here. And as I said, put this back in so it doesn't go too hard. We're just going to use this bottom one, the wee cherub sitting on his hunkers, and we're just going to push this in. Give it a good press, get it to all the corners. Probably a good idea to turn it round because you can see any air bubbles. So you can see there. See the wee air bubbles? So just press down. Turn that back over. And I might use... Okay, my lovelies, I'm just going to show you what this looks like with a few coats of distress paint. So that is 2 coats of Tim Holtz Distress ink, or sorry, Distress paint. So could I find my rub and buff? No. So what I'm going to do is going to put a wee bit of paint on my finger once this is dry and go over the top and see the detail. That's that. So I think now, the great thing about this stuff is, you see if you have any of these extra bits left over, stick it back into your pot and use it again next time you want to use your ThermoMorph. I'm quite impressed with this now, I have to say. I've enjoyed using it. Now, where were we? Yes, over to here. Took a mould of the big earring, and as you can see, I have paint all over it, as I do. So this has gone opaque, so that's how I know it's gone. It's set. So I'm just going to pull. Oh my goodness! Wow, that looks fantastic. The detail is phenomenal. Oh, I'm really, really looking forward to doing some clay buttons with this mould. Look at that. Hasn't that come out so well? The detail is phenomenal. It's got every wee ridge. Yep, very impressed with that. So I'm going to use this clay mould, or I'm going to use this ThermoMorph mould and use air drying clay. And use this little mould for buttons and for flower centres. That is fantastic. Really, really pleased with that. And this one came out absolutely amazing as well. But because I didn't manipulate it properly and I had a wee crack, what I'll probably do is I'll redo this one, because that was an error on my part, not the ThermoMorph. So I'll probably redo this one again. But the great thing is, just take my tub, put this back in here, and that'll be reheated then the next time that I want to do that mould again. Fantastic, really chuffed. So the only other one then was the fairy. We'll see, it's gone opaque, so we'll see how it comes out. Oh, it just comes out perfect. It's not quite dry yet, but wow. You can see where it's opaque here, and it's a little bit see-through here, so this wee bit hasn't quite completely dried. But once that's dry, I will trim off all the edges, and I have a beautiful cherub, and I can paint it and do whatever. And it's so light, you know, it's not heavy. I find sometimes with some clays that they're so heavy that you don't want to put them onto projects, because particularly if you're posting, you don't want to be sending something that's going to cost you an arm and a leg. This is really, really light, so it could be used on cards or anything. So chuffed. Whenever this dries, it's really light. Fantastic. Really love this stuff. So this is almost dry now, this wee cameo. So I'm just going to use a wee bit of paint. I probably could paint my wee cherub as well, couldn't I? And just dip my finger into some of the paint. Take some of it off. And I don't know why I'm doing this with my right hand, because I'm left-handed. It's a bit weird. It's not dry yet, it's just mixing in. That's not dry yet, so we'll leave that to the side. Paintbrush. And just put that into the mould, of course. You can't see all the mistakes I'm making off camera here. So I'll just bring in the cherub so you can see, and I'll just give him a wee paint. Now this paint I'm using is very, very cheap stuff. It's Gordon and Black, and this is the metallic paint. It doesn't have much pigment in it, to be honest. So it'll probably take a couple of coats on the cherub. It seems to be taking it quite well so far. Don't worry about all these side bits, because that's all going to be cut off. But you can see, isn't it so pretty? Ooh, loving it. I'm just giving this a quick paint. What I'd probably do, because I'm using such cheap paint, I probably should have put a coat of gesso, white gesso on first, and then use the cheaper paint. But that, I didn't do it for this experiment. This is just a review, so in future I will add a coat of gesso if I'm not using, you know, very good paints that are highly pigmented. But this is so cute, and the detail in the wings is just incredible. Let you see how that looks. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I love that. Really pretty, and the details in the wings are just gorgeous, and the wee facial features. And let me see if I can go over this. I think it's still, yeah, it's still a wee bit wet. See, no patience. I'll just go lightly over it, over her hair, so you can see. This paint really is absolute rubbish, but there you go. Look at the detail in the hair. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really, really chuffed with this. There's that wee cameo in this one. So I'll just turn those around so you can see them. And the mould as well. I am really chuffed with this. This is fantastic. Use it in your moulds. You can make a mould, but again, as I said, don't use hot glue or anything that's going to be so hot that it'll melt the ThermoMorph. So don't be using your heat tool on it. Any other tips? Use it quickly, and if you're sitting for a while doing a lot of work, I would suggest you keep the kettle boiled close to you, because you will need to reheat the water again, because after it gets to a certain temperature your ThermoMorph isn't going to melt. So I would suggest work quickly with it, or have a kettle close to you so you know that you can reboil water again. But other than that, I mean, it is an amazing product. I am really chuffed with it. I can definitely see me using this a lot. These moulds particularly I love, and I'll be using air dry or Fimo clay in those. And the detail is just really, really great. It has come out perfectly well, and I love these cameos. Absolutely beautiful. I'm a wee cherub, so I'm really chuffed. I'd just like to say a big thank you to David from ThermoMorph. I will have all the details on where you can get ThermoMorph on Amazon, and there will be a review on Amazon as well, and on my blog. So thanks very much, David. I hope you like this quick review, and thanks again. Bye everybody.